As you can see, I'm recording a video, so before I put this out, I'm gonna have to clear the air for you fuck boys. Alright, this is probably too big though. Alright, this is gonna be about the screenshot. The only way you can beat allegations is using MS Paint. That's what Destiny taught me. Okay. So, screenshot goes like, she bought 17 legal dough. It's not really the full screenshot. It's not exactly what I said, but it has all the important points made. So these guys were really smart of taking a screenshot of me saying something like this, and then for some reason the screenshot is untraceable, 0 results when you look it up, or they deleted context. And if you're going to delete context, it means you kind of want to control the situation. So they had the legendary ADC say, but 17 legal though. So my problem is the way that they're trying to make everyone interpret that message. And obviously it's not a good one. It's not really something you want to say. But with the power to, ping hundreds of people, and like I said, they can, delete the context, and for some reason the screenshot comes out with 0 results. It just kind of shows the way that they choose to use their power in some serious situations and some serious allegations. So it's just kind of putting in question the people that are actually posting the screenshot, like Mora. And, I have a lot of history with them. So now we're revealing some new information that allegedly happened along with this video. But first, I want to explain the screenshot. So they had me saying, but 17 legal though. So the way that they're trying to make people interpret this is that there's little Hoodie Chris here and, big head and shit. And then there's a lot of people, the way they're just trying to make it seem like is that I'm defending myself against a crowd of ongoers. It doesn't matter how many, could be 1, could be 2, could be the whole server. And they're trying to make it seem like I'm defending myself. Does that make sense? Because I think there's like 2 ways that you can interpret this message. And if you can't see it right now, then I'll show it to you. So they're trying to make it seem like, there's these people questioning me about behavior that I'm doing, and then I make an excuse. I don't know. I'm a fucking. But 17 legal though. So this is the way they're trying to make this. They're trying to paint the scenario when they paint the whole server. They show people that I've said this, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's weird. He's obviously a PDF." And that's my problem when obviously there's no context, and for some reason you can't search this up, because in this situation I'm not defending myself because I'm not doing anything. I'm not being caught with anyone. There's not some mysterious person that I'm trying to have this weird love affair with, holding hands and shit on some creepy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me. Like, I was this loner that was in team chat, that people didn't want to give me mod, because I wasn't joining the group. Started to join the group, but then I still would be seen by myself in private calls. So this doesn't really make sense, because I wasn't the type of person to seek women in the Discord, So people are trying to paint it that because I'm saying, but 17 legal though, that I'm trying to defend some kind of action or some kind of behavior that I was doing. Okay, stop. That was super interesting. I was just rewatching the video back. That is actually a huge point. They're trying to paint it out that I was doing something weird. I was being caught doing something with somebody that I'm not supposed to be doing stuff with. But you had the screenshot insinuating I'm getting caught doing something with somebody that I shouldn't be doing something with. But no one knows the situation. No one knows the victim's name. No one even remembers this. It's not because it's not something that happened. So why is it that the screenshot is so popular amongst everybody, but when I actually bring up names, like Princess Chubby Bunny with the situation that I reported, that X Mod reported. When I say K, a girl that was 17 that hung around the admins and then became 18, and then when the admins admitted to hitting and quitting that once she turned, there's actual names and scenarios, and a lot of time spent with these people that they shouldn't be spending time with, but they're trying to insinuate that I've been doing something, but nobody in the server knows of any victim or that situation happening. If that situation happened, everybody would fucking know that that happened. But they just had this random screenshot that you can't. Okay. Alright. Just want to say that. Back to the video. But in reality, what was really happening, and this is why it's important that they delete the context, or for some reason that this what is being said doesn't even seem to be real, is that they can control the situation as corrupt moderators, and that they should no longer have a Discord server. Because in reality, I'm not seeing anybody like that. I'm not trying to do anything. What realistically is happening in the situation, I hope that you guys can see this new perspective, is that actually I'm a bystander saying this in a situation where there's somebody else getting caught for an action that I have repeatedly reported for over the last 2 months and even a year prior. And there's a situation about 3 to 4, 5 months ago that people don't even know about that I was a witness to, because you guys don't understand how close I were to these people that are taking the screenshot, that are manipulating the situation, that are trying to paint me in the picture that, that I am trying to defend myself from some weird allegations. But realistically, I'm actually a bystander when I say this, and there's somebody that is actually being questioned. And as an onlooker, what I say, but 17 legal though, is that these people are all questioning said person. I can't remember who it was, just because there's just so many weirdos in the Discord, and as you can see that I'm not really trying to make contact with very many people from the server. But when I say but 17 legal though, is because this person's taking all the heat, and I want to remind them of something that they would say to me every time I reported the fact that people were hanging out with 17-year-olds, always being seen around with 17, 18-year-olds, and they're really borderline doing this weird behavior. So as you can search up, even now in the Discord, there's 4 to 5 messages of admins saying 17 legal though. This is a phrase that is actively said by the admin team. So when I first reported, allegedly Mora, and Jacob for having some weird ties with people that didn't seem to be the proper age, Nendy told me, because he's like the main guy, and I guess he's gonna say he's not the main guy, but obviously I know he's the main guy because originally, if you guys don't know, Nendy and I made this server, and we got into the argument about splitting the power and how it should only be ran by one person or 2 people. And of course, he snaked me of the power and made me agree that there should only be one person. And I also want to add that I also mentioned in the beginning of the server, 17-year-olds should not be allowed. And he said, "No, it's okay. We will handle it. We will handle it." So I created the server with Nendy, and I originally told him that these people shouldn't be allowed in the server. And then when I report admins, 17 legal though. So then when I see one of the admins or one of his friends being questioned or being seen near these people, like these people that are these young people, I chime in, but 17 legal, you good? Like, because this is what they would say to me all the time. So when this person is obviously in trouble, I'm like, bro, but you should be good, right? Because every time that I came out and reported you guys or I had an issue with guys, the only thing that people would say to me, because as you know, 2 of 4, 5 admins of the server are cops. So they always had the legal talk as their main point. We're like, why is that something I would say? No, it's that people of the law would think in law about why the situation um, is bad or good, or maybe even a gray area. This is law talk by lawful or unlawful men. So again, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not here saying in a way that they're trying to paint it out to be that I'm defending myself to all these people about some weird behavior I'm doing. That's why there's no other context, there's no victims. But every time when I reported the admins, there's always a victim, there's always a name, or at the very least, like, it's a behavior that they've repeated, multiple times. Oh fuck, I fucked it up. But actually, the part that they're leaving out is that I actually said this in jest. It's an ongoing situation that I witnessed because they're actually getting in trouble for what I've been reporting them for, and they're trying to make excuses for it. That no, 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 it's okay, I didn't do anything. And I chime in, oh, bro, what you worried about? But 17 legal though, because again, this is what they would always say to me every time I reported to them. And you guys got to understand that, like, it's about what's the behavior of the people in the situation. So more is the person that posted this screenshot, and then for some reason it just has a hazy kind of record to it. Like, you can't find it. They're painting it out to be this one way, but bro, you're the one hanging out with these girls. And then when we're on Omi TV, you guys been there. Even Don Julio can admit, or whoever's been on like a on like Omi TV or Migo Ray with these people. Allegedly Nendi and Mora would stay on 18-year-olds. Sometimes when they younger, sometimes they would say, nah, you're 18. Basically, lie about age. So they say they're 18 or lie about their age, or they just flat out say, like, for example, I would be on Omega with them. Obviously, you see a young girl on the screen, you skip it, and then allegedly something more was notoriously known for was that he would be like, dude, you fucked it up, why, like, why skip the young girl? So I want to understand that the person that's posting the screenshot that should honestly really get help is trying to paint this narrative, but I hope that you can see the other perspectives in which that you can say this phrase, and you're not some kind of weirdo. You're not trying to, like, protect yourself. You're not in the situation. This doesn't automatically mean you're in a situation. You can say it in jest to people that always tend to talk about the law. They always talk about the law. These cops always talk about the law and excusing their best friend's behavior that he's consistently known for doing with the law. So then when someone is getting in trouble, I feel like I'm in my right. Of course, smart on them, just find a situation where your enemy is slipping and you can make it look however you want. But I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of for the reasons why you keep excusing this behavior, because it's legal, sort of. Even though it's legal in New York, but he's not in New York. But we're using New York law. And you have to understand that, like, sure, I could look back because I'm in New York, but the admins in the server, the people that actually punish people and set judgment, are also from New York too, or the majority of them. So I'm gonna reveal one last thing, and I'm gonna go. So one day, Omi TV, allegedly, let me get some more space. So this is me explaining that this is this behavior that these guys have been exhibiting for a long time, and I'm just sick with it. So it's actually pretty disgusting that you guys are trying to tell me someone's been their closest friend for the last year, 2 years, where you guys have just come and gone whenever the clout was here. You only here for the clout. I was here because I love these guys. But unfortunately, they kept doing stuff like this. So there was a situation allegedly about 4 to 6 months ago when we're on OBTV. There was allegedly a 14 to 15-year-old girl. She was black. I was in call playing League of Legends. And Nendi and Mora were on a 2-man. And as you can guess, they really pressed this conversation to basically as far as you can go, that you can kind of tell that they did not care that she was this age, and even though she did admit to it. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Allegedly, this happened. But I was in call with these guys when they're on OME TV, and you can see that. And people that have been here before and watch these guys go on YouTube, you know that they're really, they like, sure, some they do ask for age, but I'm saying that not all the time they actually care, especially if they're drinking or they're tired, it's late in the night, they're loose with their morals and values. So this is a situation I never mentioned before. Of course, I mentioned the E Club scene with Nendi, where allegedly he had apologized to me for, talking to a 16-year-old girl and flirting with her. And I said, that's not cool. He said I was drunk. I said, okay. But this is another situation on ETV, and this is besides the fact, allegedly, that Mora would consistently tell people not to skip these obviously young-looking girls. So this is the guy trying to frame me to be a certain way, but then there's actual victims and names attached to these stories, allegedly. And so I want to tell you about something that I witnessed. Sure, I should have stopped it, but even you guys said when I showed the video of, KC, you guys are saying he wouldn't have went that far even though he asked for the Snapchat. Or Jenka, he's calling the 17-year-old good girl allegedly, even though I have the screenshots. And this is not flirting, even though she's calling him Dada and he's teasing her and calling her a good girl. She just mentioned that she likes being groomed apparently. So you guys are always saying that these people aren't doing what they're doing, they aren't going this far, but they're trying to get her phone number. They're being sexual. And I think I told them to stop, but they kept going. And maybe you could argue I'm just trying to save my ass here, but consistently, I'm the person in the group, in the E clubs, in on movie TV, that is the person that's always, stopping people from going too far. That's something that consistently has been in my behavior. I show it time and time again, and if you're always with me, I'm putting these barriers around to be the responsible adult. And I showed it time and time again. You guys have seen me. You guys have been with me. You guys have took me to the E Club. You guys know how I roll. And you know what? I mentioned in the comments that I was going to do some streams going to the E Club. To be honest, I'm not really ready to get rejected that much, but I kind of should show you guys the play style that you should have going to these places. And I'm not trying to be this arbiter of all good and righteous, but when you try to frame the way that something can be said and you're assuming and you're making people assume a lot of things, and you have the power to ping hundreds of people, delete the context, or for some reason the screenshot of me you post has 0 results, and then I know for a fact, allegedly, that you were on call with a girl that mentioned that she was 17 or 15 years old. You mentioned she was black, and you were trying to ask for her phone number, and it being somewhat sexual to her. So you guys don't have to believe that, right? Because this allegedly happened. But I'm telling you that, when Duality or Queenie are trying to tell me, I don't know what's going on, or that, I'm delusional, I just want to let you know that I've been in the trenches with these guys. I've seen how far these guys will go. So that's my mission. That's something I witnessed when I was in call with these guys. And obviously, this why we do tens of 20, 30 girls, but This girl, they felt like was more open, was more easy of a target. She was being open with them. They were being suggestive, and I witnessed that allegedly. So, like I said, this is not me trying to defend myself. I'm not being attacked or being questioned on some kind of affair or some kind of weird love thing that I'm going on that didn't exist. Actually, it was me trying me into a situation that somebody that is actually exhibiting this behavior, they're being questioned by the group, and I chime in. You should be good though. She's legal though. You should be good though. Right? Like you should be good. That's what you guys be saying. Like so. Again, you don't have to believe me, but I've been in the e clubs with them. I've been on OVTV with them. This is me adjusting the screenshot that you guys have of me that for some reason, it just doesn't seem right. It's like some forward message that's like fucking weird. I couldn't find it in the server. For some reason, you guys are manipulating and deleting context of the server because the server is kind of weird, and you guys exhibited weird behavior in the e club with flirting with these girls when you're drunk, or asking for their Snapchat, on OBTV. You're going after these pretty young girls. Some of them are 18. You're 24, 25, 26. Some of you, 29. Some of you. So I'm just kind of done, like, always having to step in for when this shit's happening. Because you guys were the fucking, guys always being talked shit about behind your guys' backs, and I would tell you that these people were talking shit behind your back, saying that you guys were weirdos, saying that you did these things. And now that when, my reputation's on the line and you're trying to bring this screenshot around, that you're trying to make me seem like I'm in the middle of something when it's just not the case, when I was always alone. I'm just playing League of Legends and shit. Like, the only girls I talked to were Hulu when she left the server, and Duality when she was trying to, save ass for when I was, accusing the admins of doing weird shit. That's the only time these girls messaged me. And then Riz messaged me after I left the server, so I gave her some college advice, and then I left it on scene for like 2 days now. So it just doesn't add up, bro. Like, I'm not talking to the girls there. You guys talk to all the girls. Like, as always on Omi TV, you're always flirting with every single girl there, aggressively, unaggressively, like sexually, not sexually. Like, the pattern doesn't add up. I was just some fucking weird loner playing League of Legends, trying to make my dream happen, and you guys are going out your way to hurt me, instead of just actually trying to improve and grow up. Like, you guys know that I've been talking about this because this is not like this situation that happened about 4 to 6 months ago. But even earlier than this, I got into a situation with Mora allegedly telling him that I think he was a weird guy. Like, even before all this, like this server, like the Omega call, the weird E Club situations. I even tell this guy I think he's weird and I think he's up to weird shit. And he gets mad at me. We don't talk for a little bit, and we become friends again. This is like something that's been happening for quite some time now. Even the MCAT situation is just could be even seen a certain type of way. Especially now that she's expresses wanting to fuck some members of the group that known her since she was that young. So I'm not even gonna get into that because that's even before my time. But the signs are all there. The behavior is there. Just gotta follow the behavior, the habits. Um, what want me to say? So this is my explanation of the screenshot. You guys can try to ruin my life. You guys know that I always held you accountable as long as I known you. You guys always know that I always try to hold you guys to a higher standard. You guys don't want to grow up. You guys don't want to face the music. And you want to try to take me down with you. I knew you guys were disgusting people. I knew that this group was the rejects of the League of Legends community. And to be honest, I was happy with that. Like, I was fucking with being one of the rejects, but I didn't realize that you guys would go this far and try to hurt me this bad in such a destructive way. So this is my defense for it. You guys have to understand that this is a problem that you guys have, and you guys are trying to drag me into it. So I have to say these things because you want to be aggressive and you want to make shit up and control the situation without deleting contacts, having a screenshot that doesn't show up in any results, and you ping hundreds of people trying to assert a situation that I'm trying to defend myself from weird allegations realistically. I'm just chiming into a situation of somebody getting in trouble, and I'm repeating the phrase that has always been repeated to me every single time I've reported weird behavior in a server because I consistently report weird behavior and I consistently try to hold a standard with my friends. But you guys are not the type of people I can hold a standard with. You guys will always make excuses for people, and most of you wanting to see me die and burn. You guys fucking hate me. You guys bully me. You guys always ignore me. You let people that are actually actively, allegedly flirting with these 17-year-old girls and inviting these 17-year-olds in the server to go on the team. But because someone makes a weird screenshot of me, you want to pretend like I'm the problem when I told you that's not the case. When I told you that, you know, I'm just trying to make jokes about the things that they're saying to me. This stupid excuse that it's like legal, even though not everybody is from New York. It doesn't make sense. And you guys are just awful people. And I can't believe that, like I know you guys for this long and I try to be cool with you, but you guys couldn't fix the most destructive things about yourselves. Now you guys want to hurt me, so fuck you. I'm gonna go on and try to do great things. And come at me if you want. Um, these videos are my protection. Like I've always had the stream on. Like I always had these videos playing because social media is the only thing that's been protecting me from people that wanted to bully me, hurt me, or control the narrative of the story. So this is me clearing up the fact that this is the real situation and this is the real behavior that these people that try to report me and try to paint a picture of me are doing behind the scenes around me that I told them to stop doing multiple times a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and 1 week ago. It just consistently happens all the time, and you guys just won't stop. So don't drag me into your bullshit. I try to be a good friend. Be Chris out.